How's it going, guys? Drip Crypto here, and welcome back to my channel. Today, I'm just gonna do a little update, just talking about where I've been. I've pretty much just been sitting back, looking at the markets, seeing how the market is doing. In this video, I'm pretty much just gonna show you what I've been looking at between Bitcoin, Ethereum, a couple other things, and where I see it heading, and what I've been looking at. So if you like the content, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. And then none of this is financial advice. Make sure you guys do your own due diligence before investing any money into the crypto space. But yeah, let's get into it. So, the bull market has been pretty good so far. A lot of stuff hasn't been running crazy. If you guys been at Solana, it's been doing good. Solana did pretty well. Right now, I don't think it's gonna go as crazy. I feel like right now it's going to actually take a back seat compared to Ethereum. I think Ethereum should start running soon. Ethereum has been running, so let's get into it. So pretty much this is the Bitcoin chart. The last time I think I was talking to you guys, Bitcoin was sitting around like 100 to 104. I think it broke out, but yeah, we ran all the way up to about 125, and right now we're on a nice pullback correction going into quarter four, which is going to be definitely the best quarter by far. We should see a lot of stuff peaking at this time. We are at the halfway point in the cycle, in the bull market cycle. So realistically, you should be looking to take profit, especially right now. But yeah, nothing really too crazy with Bitcoin. If we look at ETH actually had a nice little run, had a huge downtrend where everyone thought that we were pretty much, it was over, all said and done. But I feel like this little part right here was just the final squeeze to get everyone else out who they wanted to get out before the big retail investors came in and pushed it up. This is also due to now companies following the Michael Saylor strategy, because if we look at Michael Saylor, he's still buying Bitcoin. Right now he's sitting at about $69 billion in his portfolio. His average buy-in is still in profit because he's still at around 71,000. I've been looking at this too. This is another thing I've been looking at. I feel like once we get towards that $100,000 mark, when it comes to his average buying price, that's when I'm gonna start being like, okay, like this is starting to get towards overbought territory. But yeah, ETH has been doing extremely well over the past like 2 months. We had this little shakeout, final squeeze, and then we literally just been ripping up ever since. Right now, I feel like we're just having a nice little healthy correction. I mean, you got to understand, like, people who bought in down here at this 1500, right? They're going to be taking profit. You understand? So, because you got to realize we went up since April 7th. We've been up. We haven't even really had a pullback. We maybe had little, what, 20% corrections, which is nothing. 26% corrections followed by a massive 2.3x. Like, come on. So ETH still has a huge upside. When it comes to Bitcoin, my upside target for Bitcoin, I think I told it in the last video, was I was looking at least 250. I think we could definitely hit 250, but a lot of people have been calling for 250, so I don't think we're gonna hit 250. I feel like this cycle is gonna be good, but it's not gonna perform like last cycle how we expected. Last cycle we expected 100K, but we fell short at 65, and then double topped and then came back down. So I feel like from here we could definitely go to at least 190, 200. So we could definitely do another 80% gain on Bitcoin, but I don't think Bitcoin could go past 250. But like, we need some real big catalysts in order to push that, because here to 250 would be literally that would be another 2.2x, literally. So I don't know. I really can't see that, especially like with how far into the cycle we are. But yeah, ETH is doing good right now. We didn't even really break out. Like, we retapped the previous top of last cycle, which was literally this 4,800. Like, I'm not gonna really be super bullish on Ethereum until we break out of this range, and we realistically, I want to see us break out about above 5,000. So like anywhere above here, that's when I'm gonna be like, okay, like ETH is really running. Now, if we look at the Bitcoin dominance has been dropping, which is good. That's another indicator that I've been looking at. That's pretty much the dead giveaway when it comes to altcoin season, because you're gonna start seeing a lot of people shift and take profit. A lot of these big whales selling out of Bitcoin to then switch to the smaller altcoins, mid cap coins to altcoins to meme coins. And we usually get this every time. Like we get a drop, altcoins, meme coins, everything smaller than Bitcoin runs. Same thing with here. We had that drop. This was last cycle, and altcoins literally ran. And it went from the Bitcoin dominance being at 70% to it dropped all the way down to 40%. Right now, we were sitting at 66%. We dropped down to 57%. And now, I mean, you see a couple green candles, but I'm not even too worried about it. It could just be a higher low, possibly here, to downside correction. That's another 37% down. So, but yeah, the other thing, I've just been looking at the total crypto market cap, and right now we're sitting at about 3.7, which is really nothing crazy. I mean, last month we were sitting at literally 4.1, 4.2, which was extremely bullish. We still haven't broken out. I want to see us get above this 4. Like realistically, we could definitely be an 8 to 10 trillion dollar market cap. So from here to 8 trillion, like that's a at least. So that's a 2x on a 2.1x on the whole entire market cap of everything. So we could definitely hit that at least 8 trillion by the end of the cycle. We are also in a bull market, so I mean, I've been looking at even just the regular TradFi, like stock market. Like, look at the S&P 500. Like, you could have bought anywhere, and it's still going up. It's still making new highs. Every single time. Like, we're still pushing. We had this nice dip, rip. This reminds me of the COVID crash right here, where we dipped and we just didn't stop pushing. Like, yeah, we had little corrections, but these were just because of the same quarter we're in right now, September. And then we just ramped up. We started ramping up in November, Q4, and we just pushed ever since. Same thing with this. We pushing. Another indicator that I've been looking at, especially when it comes to like the M2 money supply. You hear a lot of people talking about the M2 money supply and how it's correlated with Bitcoin. I think I talked about this in one of my Bitcoin videos. But the M2 money supply, pretty much what it is it goes off of the Federal Reserve and how they print money. So every time the M2 money supply goes up, pretty much ticks up Bitcoin. Bitcoin and M2 money supply have a positive correlation, meaning that as the M2 money supply goes up, the Bitcoin price goes up. Long story short. So we have right now the Fed printing money. That money is getting stimulated throughout the economy. It's going through regular TradFi, so the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, the Russell, right? And then what happens is as people start taking profit on that, they then start bringing it down the risk curve, and they then want to take more risk. Now, this all depends on, I mean, Sami talks about it, the business cycle, right? The business cycle hasn't been doing good. It hasn't really been pushing crazy. So due to that, people aren't taking on as much risk. I feel like a lot of people are waiting on these rate cuts in order to then say, okay, let's go risk on. Let's start implementing more risk. So the Fed in 14 days from today are going to be talking about sitting down, and they might do a rate cut. And if this does, we should see some more push in the market and a push towards altcoin season. But realistically, I'm waiting for the S&P 500 to even. S&P 500 broke its high. NASDAQ broke its high. Russell, we're waiting on the Russell to break its high. It was closed right here in November, but then just dropped. So we're making a push back up higher. We got to break this in order for us to see a growth in the Russell, because the Russell is technically the meme coins of, or the smaller altcoins of TradFi. And once we see that, then we'll say, okay, a lot of these business companies are willing to take risk, so they're definitely going to start taking risk on more speculative assets. But yeah, short little video. I mean, these are a couple things that I've been looking at.